but first a disclaimer. I'm a computer science major, I'm not an English major, so yeah, so just take what I have to say with a very big grain of salt. Okay. I noticed some pronunciation issues during the meeting. So the thing I have written in the parentheses is the wrong pronunciation. So for instance, I heard also, and then instead of sexy, I heard saxy. Instead of subtle, I heard subtle. It should be subtle. I don't think there should be a D sound. So it's subtle. And then beauty, it's not booty, it's beauty. Japanese should be Japanese, not Japanese. Japanese. Right. Japanese. Right. Several, not several. Yes. Technical, not technical. Believe, not believe. World, not word. Or word. Just world. Yeah, basically. And then there were some, basic grammar problems, I think. But again, I'm not an English major. So even more respect to should be even more respect for, or something. The department I want to learn in is not quite correct. It should be the department I want to study in. I often go to a neighboring school. It really should be I often go to a neighboring school. Neighboring. Instead of I have competent at, it should be I have confidence in. Yep. Who is accompanying with me? No, it's who is accompanying me. Right. Why not starting? It's really why not start. Okay. The to entire world, it should be to the entire world. I like the feeling of the history. It really should be I like the feeling of history. And you get a point. Alright? Because these are just things that are, I don't think they're wrong exactly, but they're either not very good sounding or it's just flawed. So I noticed that some people like to use and a lot. For instance, I like the color green and blue and yellow and orange. No, you don't need to put and in front of all those clauses. Just drop the and leave the and for the very last one. It'll make it sound a lot better. If I practice well enough, it's really not wrong, but you can drop the well. If I practice enough, it's good enough. My heart was pumping severely. That's fine, but it's more common to say my heart was pounding severely or pounding really quickly. To reveal our beauty perfectly. I would have said to perfectly reveal our beauty. Then have logical thinking. I might have said to demonstrate logical thinking or to think logically. Then there are mainly 8 kinds of blah blah blah. I would have said there are the main 8 kinds of things. Right. Then can you go on the stage? Because the person who said, can you go on the stage, was already on the stage, I would have said, can you come onto the stage? Okay, and am I being timed? Maybe not. Alright, so contractions. I don't know if you recognize this character from Star Trek, The Next Generation. He's Data, and he's known for not being able to use contractions in English. So he would never say it wasn't, he would say it was not. So I've noticed that a lot of non-native speakers also do not tend to use contractions much. And that sounds a little bit weird to a native speaker, so I would encourage you to use contractions, maybe overuse contractions where you can. And finally, to improve your English, I suggest listening to radio. ICRT is not bad, but some of the announcers on ICRT has a little bit of accent, even ICRT. So I would recommend listening to maybe NPR, PRI, especially This American Life. It's one of the top-rated public radio programs in the United States. You can listen to it for free. So if you go to Google and you type in This American Life, and you click on This American Life, You can click on Radio Archives. And then they have all the archives except the very last one for free. So like hit the road, and then you can hit play, and then go do your homework.
Chicago is this American Live distributed by Public Radio International America.
I think the program is really interesting. In fact, it's even more interesting than some television shows. Yeah. All right, so that's the language evaluation for today.